boys, it's Monday morning, a little bit of rain. Let's get back to it. Starting the morning out, boom, 250G. We got to do a complete, I don't think it's a 6,000 or 8,000 hour service on it. So let's get started. Let's get her fired up here. Boom. Hey, tell me you got power loss. Tell me you got power loss. Holy fuck. Hey, look, it's a 6068. Always remember to check your gear case oil. Yep, it's low. Hey, Forma funnels are really good to not make a mess, but I still make a fucking mess. God damn! Now it wants to work for me. Old 6068, noticeable oil leakage in here and here. Well, look at the oil cap and that gasket's shot. Like I said, lid off the CCV and may have found some of our issue right there. It's a noticeable difference. Let me, yeah. Think you gotta breathe that shit. Well, hopefully this one's a little bit better. How's your lungs, my boy? Oh, Jesus. Yep. Final. Got to service them too. Really need to think of a different pumping solution because this is getting old. Ugh. All right, we're all primed up. Let's get her fired up. And done. All right, Deere 700K. Some leaky boys. Both of them. Can already read the comments now. You need a crane to pick up that little fucking cylinder. A guy done picked. I don't care. No, maybe you guys are right. I should have just picked it out by hand because I just made a goddamn mess. I should have capped it. My bad. Let's do it again. Well, I definitely have mastered the technique of how not to pull a fucking cylinder. Yay me. Today, D6K2 with a hydraulic leak and low charge pressure. Let's find out why. Look no further. Found it. If you route a hose right into the old Allen head bolt right there, yeah, guess what? You're gonna create a leak. I'm gonna be honest with you, that hose straight up sucks. So it comes right off the filter and goes right over to the fan, the whole cooler assembly right there. In person, that hose really sucks. So that's ordered up and it's tomorrow's project. Yay. Alright, so I've been asked some questions in regards to the old camera here, and I wanted to kind of cover some shit on it. One, obviously it's very easy to install and you can install in about 5 minutes. The hardest thing is to finding a spot on the body you want it, and two would be finding a spot for the display in the truck. Aside from that, it's 60 frames per second when it's got really good bandwidth. When it doesn't have good bandwidth, guess what, buddy? You are G model excavator all day, where it's like 30 frames per second at best. Aside from that, for the cost, about $100 on TikTok Shop, you can get one, and well worth the money though. Aside from that, I like it. It charges by itself. You ain't got to do shit. All right, Tech Tip Monday. So you got one of these greasy fried cylinders, you just pulled out, it's got grease all up in the joints there. You've already got everything capped off. I like to use these little bags. You can pick them up at pretty much anywhere, Walmart, wherever, or your local janitorial closet, and wrap the ends so it's one less greasy thing to worry about. Oh, crikey, boys. It's Monday number 2. Let's get to it. All right, boys, we're back on the D6K2 this morning. Tackling the line here. This is going to be pretty much a good amount of time project today. So yeah, we're pretty heavy into it. Let's go with it. To be honest with you, Deere's got fucking cat beat on the old high stack Deere dozer game. I'll be honest with you, because the powertrain lines and everything on this machine absolutely suck to get down to, and I still got to pull this panel off. Fun. Really trying to avoid dropping the front pan. With this side panel off right here, I think we got a chance. I don't know if you guys can see that, but Mueller Kemp's little stubby wrenches for the win, boys. Because, yeah, I can't get a fucking socket in here. Send help. Send beer. After many hours of fighting, and 2 pieces later, hose is finally fucking out. Now we get to put it in. Yay! Alright, boys, excuse the mess, but we got her all pretty much routed back in place. All the way back up to the fan. It's a motherfucker. But finish reassemble and then on to the next one. Mein Fuel, we're back on the old Hom with the Dutz engine, and we got ourselves a Dutz harness. Go ahead and throw in this piece of shit Dutz. And pump it up. I'm gonna take this bag, put it right in there, and we'll lower back down and harness installed. Well, the old harness is out. Yippee. Look at all that Dutz. New harness is sort of temporarily put in for the time being. Need belts for this fucking turd, so we got those on order. So, pause. Wait, Deutz, do you really gotta take the drive belt off and the idler pulley off just to get down to some of these fucking timing sensors just to replace the fucking harness? A little aggressive, my guy. Just a little aggressive. Well, we'll get this bitch going tomorrow. All right, boys. It's Wednesday. Let's get to it. It's hump day. All right, boys, starting the morning out. We're back out on the Hom roller this morning. Gonna finish up engine harness wiring and routing on this. Put the belt back on because James River fell through on that deal. They didn't get us a belt in time, so that'll be another day's project. Big shout out to the old wifey here. Hooked me up with this neck light, so yeah, I can work early in the morning. So let's get to it. First this morning, boys, gotta get rid of these glove container because we are empty. Get that, and boom. All right, boys, harness all connected, all routed, all nicey nice. Drive belt, the shitty one, put back on for the time being. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see if that injector one fault's gone. The really cool thing about doing harnesses is you always get some sort of cover that you just can't normally go out and purchase. Now for this connector right here, which is engine to chassis, well, this cover, I can't go out and get that anywhere. Now I actually will have this cover if I ever have to take another one of these harnesses down. So it's kind of a cool thing. Boys, we got the old unit fired up. Running nice and smooth, no signs of a misfire. We have some codes that we previously mentioned that we're doing it with, having to do with the, basically the def lines. So we had the dealer out numerous times looking at this issue. They can't figure it out, but it's not derating the machine. So let's go. And pumping down, hopefully for the last time for a hot minute. All right, vibratory's on and we're moving high speed. Well, it's high speed-ish. And no faults. And done for today. So we got the cylinder for 700K. Let's get them installed. Clean your pins before install. And 1, 2, installed. All right, now we just got to plumb it and install that one. Grease it up. Oh, greasy. So the cylinders are installed. Everything's good to go there. No leaks. Yeah, I've got no heat in the cab, so we're going to double check service advisor, see what the HVAC is reading, and then we'll go further with that. Well, with the water valve disconnected, let's go ahead and open this up and let's see if we got heat. Wow, we have heat now. Looks like somebody had removed it already previously, so that's how they've been operating it between AC and heat season. So I'll see if they want to put a water valve in it or not. All right, boys, it's Thursday. Friday Junior, as it needs to be called. Let's get to it. All right, so we got oil, filters, all that fun shit. All right, contractor life. Supposed to service is 300. Guess what? Got an 85 that went down. So let's go ahead and circle back and go look at that now. Yay. All right, Hitachi 85. Apparently you key it on and it's doing some weird shit. So let's get into it. Fucking key. Why do they always take the fucking keys out? God damn it. Okay, pretty normal there. Also, pretty normal there. Fuck. It's so difficult to say no hydraulic function. I guess so. Well, I guess that was the logo they were talking about. All right, boys, listen closely. Yeah. Hey, it stopped. All right, so I think we found it here in this loop where this black wire is, where they loop the two switches together. You can pretty much, you can actually hear the relay clicking. So yeah, it's something in this black wire right here. All right, guys, peeling back off the connector too, and yeah, found it. That's our issue. All right, boys, seems like the day of mini X's. All right, so this one's got an issue with the 5 volt for the, that's right, the auxiliary hydraulics, and that doesn't want to work from time to time. So, boom, new joystick grip. Let's get her installed. By the way, this is not the appropriate way to secure a bolt for a pin, more you know. All right, so once you've punched your old roll pin out, just go ahead and whoop, There. Take it right off. There's your part number if you guys ever need one of these little joystick grips. Really starting to think I must have done it wrong because I have no spare bolts. Like, what the fuck? All right, so final test to verify. Standby 2.4, 4.3, half. Okay, so attempt number 3 to service the 300G. So let's get to it. What the fuck is growing on this fucking thing? Jesus Christ. Swing that out the way and hey, look, another 6068. Yay. Pretty safe to say there's some water in there. Jeez. Here it comes. We'll see fuel at some point here. Double the assembly time, triple the cost. John Deere. Well, let's go ahead and change out that breather filter. All right, cap off. Loosen the nut. And lid off. Ta-da! Doesn't look that bad. No, we'll put it back on. I'm gonna try to take this out without making a mess. Any guesses? Don't be that guy. Change the fucking O-ring. That bitch is flat as hell. Woo! Get to service the finals too. Damn it! And done. Be a heavy equipment guy, they said. It would be fun, they said. They didn't say shit about the fact it's gonna take forever for this motherfucking pump to pump the goddamn gear oil. Alright, so I swear every time I post something about doing PMs, I always get somebody in the comments asking, did I do this? Did I do that? What's the hour range you did that service in? And usually it's a comment off of YouTube. Most everybody else doesn't give a fuck if you're doing services. But I'm gonna show you what I do use when I do my services. Alright, so this is the literal Deere equipment app, and you can go right through here, equipment manager, I'm sorry, and you can see exactly what's due at the hour range that you are working on that machine. And so yeah, this is what I use checklist wise to see what is due at that hour range. There you go, 5,500 hours. Once a dealer tech, always a dealer tech. So I always go by whatever guidelines is due at that time. It might take me a little bit longer to do a service, but at the end of the day, at least I know that we've done our due diligence and that machine is ready to go back to service. All right, guys, starting the morning out, we got ourselves a 1997 Dodge Ram 2500 with a 12-valve Cummins. We got to go ahead and get it ready for tomorrow, because we're doing a little bit of a no prep drag racing, so let's get to it. Well, boys, truck runs sound, right? Everything's fine. Maybe not so fine. Now, by visuals, we've got 2 head studs right now where I've got oil bubbling out of it. Again, this is nothing to do with the head stud manufacturer, Exotic. It had nothing to do with that. This is strictly just a 360,000 plus mile engine with a stock factory fucking head gasket, and we've made a lot of increases in cylinder pressure, and that happened. So yeah, I think we're out for tomorrow. Awesome. So needless to say, shitty situation, right? Maybe not. So right there, we've got ourselves an Interstate McBee complete upper kit, as well as we already had a tappet cover that we were already getting ready to put on anyway in the off season. So it's just more shit to do. And also I'm going to go ahead and reach out to the guys over Power Driven Diesel, see if we can't get a stage 2 head put on it. So it's not the end of the world. It just really fucking sucks.